So I'm going to give my little spiel, right? That this is part 2 of the podcast, and then we'll get into it, and we'll continue with remake. Okay, I
I'm
gotta
going to get
get
my
that
notes.
myself.
Hang on. Can you do that? I've got to get my Cloti
Okay.
notes.
Yes.
I like
Let me open up my browser to a story of love Tumblr. That
Go
is
to
where I
Clerith
get
and
my
Clerith
information
and
from.
cloud.com.
Your Bible story of love Tumblr. Yes, please get your
That
sources together.
that is my Bible. This the girl who wrote it. Her name is Daniela. She knows everything about
Straight
anything.
arrows. Yeah.
There. Yeah.
And straight arrows.
She she is the leader.
Leading, expert
Well,
for
yeah,
Clerith.
exactly.
Oh, sorry, moderator. Are we recording now? I did not mean to say all that stuff. Oh, sorry.
Oh well, no, we'll cut it out. We'll cut it out.
Oh,
It won't
good.
be in there. Yeah, don't worry. We'll cut it out.
Oh,
Unless I
that
accidentally
was okay.
forget. And accidentally include some stuff that I wasn't supposed to. But other than that, we should be good.
Very good.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. And so this is Mo Yoriamour here. Welcome back to my channel. And this is part 2 of a podcast where we're going to be discussing the LTD, the love triangle debate, as always, pertaining to Final Fantasy VII. And this is where we answer the question, who is best girl, Aerith or Tifa? So I had 2 guests with me here, Gloria and Alfred. Why don't you guys say hi to everyone?
Hi, everyone.
Alfred, you there?
Yes, I am here waiting patiently. Hello, everybody. I have to apologize for leaving early yesterday. But something very, very good happened. Well, not very good, but this is what happened yesterday. I just want to say,
Okay, please tell me.
Gloria, yesterday you told me about a glitch or some mod or something like that where Aerith come alive or there is some scene about Aerith coming back alive again. I was so excited. I go on YouTube. I try find it, but I could not find it. So I asked my brother. I said, Didi, have you heard about something about this glitch or mod? Someone tell me about something. And then he laughed at me and he said, yeah, I know about that. I'll send you a link. So I pressed on the link this morning. Oh my God! You know what happened? He sent me a link of a zombie woman from The Walking Dead. Oh my God! That guy, he he is such
He trolled you.
a bastard. He's a bastard. See, Cloti are like that. You see, they are so mean. They are bully.
He's just trolling you like brothers do that.
Bully. I don't like him. I no speak to him for 24 years because of all that stuff he do to me.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Alfred. I'm sorry to hear that. It really is a pretty sensitive topic and a little bit like politics. Unfortunately, it can tear families apart.
I don't like him at
That's
all.
just the truth of it. But thank you for sharing that story, though. Thank you for sharing, and I
No
hope you're
problem.
able to patch things up with your brother. Your DD.
No problem.
Yes. So, yesterday we began, before you had to leave, to talk about remake. And I think that's a good place to continue to get into remake. And again, just to, so we're all on the same page, we have both had an opportunity to play and complete remake part 1. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Alfred, is that correct? We've completed part 1 of remake.
He only played chapters, if I remember.
No, that is not necessarily true. I played the whole game, but I just maybe not focus on some chapters as much as other chapters. I definitely focus on the Sector 5 chapter. That is the best chapter game. The part of the game my favorite is the Sector 5 when we play with Aaron.
Did you do the side quest for
I do.
3, Alfred?
For
Chapter 3?
Chapter 3, which one again? Remind me again. Is that the...
With Tifa, after he wakes up after the bomb.
Oh, no, Tifa. No, I did not do all the quests for Tifa. It's so boring, so stupid. Chasing down cats killing rats. Oh my god, so dirty. No, I don't like that stuff.
Okay,
So
there's
yeah.
rats in all the underground sectors, but anyway.
It's so boring. And Tifa is so boring. She nag. I don't like her at all. You know my position with Tifa.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I do not. I do not finish all the quests for Tifa. Or I do all the quests for Aerith because in my heart, always Cloud and Aerith story. Final Fantasy VII is Cloud and Aerith story. Oh, what's that China's on the background? That very pretty
Yes,
note.
and thank you, Alfred, because I did want to mention once again, if we can mute our phones, perhaps
Yeah,
mute
that was my phone. Sorry,
notifications and try.
sorry,
Yeah,
more.
no problem, and
Can you?
try. I know it's hard.
Gloria, can you send me that chime that is very good for my new Aries webpage? I might use that one. It's chiming
It's
ding
just
ding, very nice, very
it's
well.
just a Apple generic tone. It's not like a Final Fantasy themed one.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. You got my
My
hub up
ringtone
again.
is
Sorry
a
about that.
Final Fantasy theme, but yeah, not my tech.
And Alfred, did I hear that correctly? Are you working on some sort of page, some sort of site related to Aerith?
I was, because yeah, I hear about all these Cloti spreading those lies, those rumor about the story. I'm here to make sense for all the people that this is a Cloud and Arrow story. So I need to fight back against the bad Cloti. The bullying Cloti. So yeah.
Well, good luck
I don't
with
fully
that, and
understand.
if you,
Thank you. Thank you. No, no, look, Gloria. Gloria has been pretty good. I just
mm,
there's some people. Oh, I have to tell you about this one person. His name is Meteor Dash. Oh my goodness, I'm so
mm,
angry. Oh, I'm so angry. That I'm still shaking. Last night after I speak on the podcast, I was like, maybe not good to hate people all the time. Not good to hate people forever. So I
mhm.
extend the only friends to Meteor Dash. I direct message him. I say, look, maybe we can patch things up. Maybe we can actually agree. What's that term? Agree to disagree.
Mm.
And he said, okay, no
Compromise.
problem, no problem. And
Yeah,
then and then
that's a
I and
skill.
then I got back on Twitter this morning. I opened up. Oh my god! I'm so angry. That bastard. What he do? He screenshot my message, and then he put it on. And then he took my picture, and then he draw the spiky Zack hair. He know I hate Zack, so he draw the spiky Zack hair on my head, and he put the clown nose on my nose, and he said, "Look, this is Alfred the dancing clown." I, I'm so angry. I'm so
Well, and I am the
Des just
moderator here, so I
trolls.
don't.
I know Des.
I,
He just likes to
Oh,
troll. Alfred,
you
don't take
know,
it seriously.
you know that guy. Oh,
Well, I've
if you
seen
know
him on
that guy.
Twitter because he's one of my mutes. So yeah, he just likes to troll. He's it's not serious.
He's almost
well,
as bad as that other girl. Her name is Linzo. Oh my god, them two are the worst. I don't like them at all. You see, Linzo, I think Meteor Dash maybe sent something to Linzo, and then Linzo put on the thing that this man is an idiot. He is delusional. And them two always
Oh,
bully me.
that's
The
funny.
Cloti bully me all the time. And I suspect that Meteor Dash he report me to Twitter and got my last account suspended. So that's why I make a new Twitter account now. I only have one follower, but I will get back all the followers from before.
Uh,
I need to fight back the
they're
Meteor
just
Dash.
hardcore
He
clotties. That's
is
all.
he is a bad man. I don't like him at all. He's a puk guy. Puk guy in Cantonese is a very swear word. I never swear that much in my life, but I have to swear to
Oh.
this man. I don't like him.
All right,
I
can
don't
we
like him.
move on?
well, sir, but I just want to say this now again as moderator. I believe that I know who you're referring to. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I do want to give you some words of support because it is tough out there to be Clerith. I will
Oh,
say that.
very,
It's
very
tough
tough.
to be Clerith. You have
Yeah,
to
it's
be
tough to
really
be wrong.
convicted. Well, again, as moderator, I'm just going to continue my message, which is that it's tough to be Clerith. We'll just put it that way. And it's tough to stand by your beliefs and to take all the criticism. So I do just want to encourage you to Hold on, Alfred. Just do
Thank
what you
you,
do
thank you. I need
and
the
keep going.
support. I need all the support. There are too many
Yes.
of these bully Cloti, Cloti. And I need to expose the Cloti, the truth about Cloti and Diva, and
Okay,
all
let's
those
just
people,
stick to the story,
especially.
not the fans.
Sorry, I
Okay.
talk too much.
Alfred,
Just like
suck it up.
me too.
I,
That sorry,
I
sorry.
appreciate it. And I do also want to thank you, Gloria, for taking the time to be here. I know it's not easy. I'm trying to be impartial, but technically you do have two Clerith here with one Cloti. So I
Yes,
appreciate
and
you
you give Alfred the
engaging
mic
with
more than
this.
me.
Well, okay, we can talk about this, but I don't think so. I think I've gone out of my way, Gloria,
I
if
want
I
it
may say so.
timed
I've gone out of
to
my
be
way.
like fair. Okay,
No,
let's.
no,
Can we
I've
like
got.
not?
In
Can
fact,
we move on from
in
Alfred's
fact,
griping?
sure. But
Well,
I
well,
just need
maybe,
to
He is
say
well,
this,
maybe,
he's
maybe
Gloria.
if
great.
you Cloti stop bullying us, maybe we don't have that much to say. You know
You
that?
need a
Well,
sense of humor, Alfred.
well,
I think.
well, Gloria. I will just say this. Yesterday, I went out of my way several times in a row to give you the floor first. When it came up, oh, who goes first? I said, let's let Gloria go because I didn't want there to be the perception that I was showing any favoritism. So I don't
Okay.
agree with you trying to imply that I'm showing favoritism. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, but you
Okay?
admitted you were a
But
Clerith, so you're putting it out there.
well, everyone should know I'm very open with that. On my channel, it is what it is. But for this,
It's such
for
a
these
good
purposes
channel.
here,
I have to say,
oh,
your
thank you.
All
channel
right,
is
can we
so
get to the
informative.
questions?
Informative.
Time's a
Okay,
waste.
okay, we can talk about this
Okay,
later,
okay,
Alfred. Okay,
okay,
in all
okay,
Alfred,
fairness. Okay,
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 okay. I will try to control myself. I will try to
thank
control
you.
myself today.
okay. Yeah, fair enough. So, remake. Let's talk about remake. Now, I'm going to ask both of you this, and since Gloria thinks that I'm, showing favoritism anyway, we'll start with Alfred. Alfred, where I might as well. So, Alfred, where do you think the story is headed? Where do you see remake going? Based on part one, where do you think we're headed?
Oh, this is probably the simple question for me. Oh, this is a good one to start. Thank you very much. You say
Ah,
it. It's so simple. We go to cloud resolution. Cloud resolution. He with Aerith. Yeah, and Aerith,
What?
Aerith say to him, don't fall in love with me. It's not real. You know what that means? That means that like I said yesterday, she can see into the future, and she know that she is going to have trouble. She don't want to break our heart. That's what she tell her. Don't fall in love with me. I don't want to see you heartbroken. I don't want to see you like a loser in Advent Children, like that. So and then at the end we see a picture of Aerith and Cloud and the motorbike. It's going to be their love story. Oh, simple, no argument
You might have
whatsoever.
seen a photoshopped picture there, Alfred, because all the members are there, like Barrett, Tifa, and Red 13 as well.
That
It's
is
not
not.
an
What
Aerith.
are you? What are you referring to? Are you delusional? There is only
No,
Aerith and Cloud
it's
and the
the
motorbike.
official. It's like you can. No, that's very famous among the Cleriths. They will Photoshop out everyone else but Cloud and Aerith. But no,
That
the whole
that is
team
a
is in it. Like it's
that is a
Sorry to
serious
say, but that's
accusation.
a doctored photo.
What proof do you have that they changed the photo?
You can
You
go to
yeah I
the Square Enix website and on Twitter. Pretty sure they've put it up there and see it there.
No, I don't believe you. It's
Okay.
the same thing here. Cloti, bullying. I just have to close our eye and just
I'm just saying
have
what
faith in the
it is.
story.
I can
Have faith
show
in
you
the
a
story.
photo, like literally go to their Facebook, Twitter, their website. You'll find it. I'm
Oh
pretty sure
no,
that's
you're
an Ultimania remake. Ultimania, though, it's not released in English yet, but there's photos in there. I'm fairly certain I've seen it in that, and it would be. So you can look online
I
at
I
the Square Enix
I think we just
website.
have
Have a look at the Ultimania. I think they give you a couple of preview pages to look at, and it's definitely, I'm fairly certain, I haven't seen it for a while, but pretty certain it's featured in there. So they're definitely Tifa, Barrett, and Red as well, not just Cloud and Aerith.
Well, I can say the same thing for you. How are you to say that it's not they put the other character in afterward?
Because it's about all of them. It's not just Cloud and Aerith.
You see, that's where we disagree. We can talk about it later. I will go see I will go see your website. I will see if you're telling the truth or not.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll go have a look later then. Okay. No
That's
problem.
something that we can look into offline. But Gloria, I want to pose the same question to you. Where do you see Remake heading moving forward?
Calm, Costa del Sol, Midil, Northern Crater, Nibelheim, Gongaga. I mean, that's where it's headed. As for the love triangle, it's going to go the same. You'll have Aerith die, and then Cloud's mind will be healed in the live stream. He'll fall in, and Tifa will find him at Midil again, and they'll fall in again, and they will heal. She'll heal his mind, piece back his memories, and he'll be whole again. And then his mind and heart will be then obvious, like it is in the original game, and then the high wind will happen. So yeah, that's how I see it going. There's all these theories about Aerith knowing the future. I know that Nojima gave these little sly hints, but you never know with Nojima. He could be trolling. He could be actually giving you hints. So it's just theory at the moment, and I'm not going to make any predictions on anything outside of what we already know the story is. But
we know this thing for sure. We know this thing for sure that the Arbiter of Fate, they die already. We kill them. That means that the story may be somewhat different to OG.
I mean, maybe.
OG.
But I don't think Aerith will live. I'm sorry. I mean, she might live for a little bit. If the timeline theory is correct, then Zack is alive too. So I would like to see Zack and Aerith have resolution, and because she had no closure. He left. The last she heard of him was he promised to come back and see her. And then 5 years goes by, she hears nothing. She writes him all these letters. She knew nothing.
That's because that Zack guy is a big womanizer. He probably went for another girlfriend anyway. He never said he would.
He was experimented on for 4 years, and then he escaped carrying Cloud unconscious around the planet. It took a while to get to another continent from where they were. So I add that there's no such thing as Cloud's resolution. It's Aerith's, Tifa's, and Barrett's. This is this lie that Clerith to come up that it's Cloud. It isn't. It's Aerith's. It's stated in the remake Ultimania. Tifa.
Oh, here you go again with your magazine.
I mean, this was just one of those things that, the other side made up for whatever, purpose, but it's not true. It's just like it. Seriously, Ultimania in English is coming out in December. There'll be no.
Here we go.
Debate.
Ultimania, the magazine. Yeah, I say this one. I say to this. Cloud. It is Cloud resolution. I look up the meaning of resolution.
No, it's Aerith's resolution. It actually
says... No, I don't agree with that. It is Cloud resolve. What does resolve mean? Resolve means he decide to do something. And what did he decide to do? He resolved to go and save Aerith. That is Cloud resolution.
He stands there and the wisp is surrounding her and he just stands there and Tifa rescues her. So I don't think Cloud's that invested.
Tifa did not rescue Aerith. Anyway. It was Cloud. It was Cloud who rescued. This is Cloud resolution. He resolved to say, you know what? We go save Aerith. Tifa doesn't want to save Aerith. Tifa just wants to Cloud all for herself.
Tifa was respecting Elmira, her wishes.
No, that is a load of rubbish. You see,
Elmira said
Cloud
no,
said, we have to say, Cloud said we have to go save Aerith. And then Tifa said, no, don't need to go save her. She is not important. It's just
you go together. Listen to Elmira and wait.
She she may not have used the
I
word
don't
that
know what
she
you
implied. She
this
implied all that
information
stuff.
does.
She's a
Gloria,
bad woman. You see.
he just like this is like, and I've played the game. This didn't happen at all. I don't
Oh, I
understand
played the game too. I played the game too.
Seriously, Elmira gets upset and says she doesn't want them to potentially make things worse. And Tifa can see Elmira getting upset, and then that's when she says to Cloud, maybe we should wait. It's not this, I don't want to rescue Aerith because I'm jealous or whatever. That is just complete bullshit. I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear that. That's blasphemy.
Oh, well,
Sorry,
well,
Alfred,
that
but
you
you're
might
getting your information from the wrong websites. Or, I mean, all you have to, did you play it in Japanese or like another language other than your own?
No. I told you. I tell you before.
World.
I don't understand Japanese. That's why I only play
So,
with the English version. And the English version is very clear. Tifa does not want to say Aerith. They say, oh, Tifa Aerith will be a good friend. BBF. I don't see that at all. You see, Tifa just don't want to say Aerith. Or maybe they let her stay there. Let her stay there for a few more hours. You know, it's so dangerous. You know, she with that
well, Elmira was convinced they
she
wouldn't hurt her. So, yeah.
how do you know that?
Cloud knew what
How do you know that?
potentially could
Oh,
happen.
maybe Tifa just simply don't want
You don't like
Cloud and Aerith to be.
and you want to believe those things, but they're not true. Because when they made the decision, when Elmira changed her mind and said to Cloud, gave it the go ahead, Tifa had no problem with it.
Oh, that's because
only when Cloud was upsetting Elmira that Tifa stepped in.
Oh, that's because by then Tifa is like, no, look, we have to go save her anyway.
Okay.
So
I think this was a bit of bias against Tifa, but okay.
Okay, so I think we can see that again. We have some disagreement here that we probably won't be able to resolve.
No.
But duly noted. Duly noted. So we did mention Aerith and Tifa's friendship, right? Some people are calling it Air T. So we see that Alfred.
Stupid name, AT, stupid name. No friendship. There's no friendship between them. It is simply Tifa one Cloud for herself, stopping Cloud from being with Aerith and developing the relationship further. You know.
Aerith herself tells Chocobo Sam that she wants to save Tifa from a life because so that was Aerith's own words.
She just trying to convince.
Yeah.
Trying to convince Sam to help her. That's all. That does not mean anything. Just lie to Sam just to convince him to help the story go forward. You know. But then Aerith all very sensitive about her appearance with Cloud. We know that she get very defensive when Cloud say things like, "Oh, Tifa in great shape." He said all the three options that you get, all support Tifa. No, but I don't get to call her the slum. The slum drunk.
Sam asked a question about.
Don't get to call Tifa the slum drunk. There's no way.
They had to kind of be about Tifa.
I was waiting for an option to call Tifa bad thing, like slum drunk, like they call Air. But no, again,
every
no
girl
option.
Is going to be insecure when Tifa walks in the room. I mean, she's built like a supermodel.
Supermodel.
Is going to
please,
not be
supermodel.
When Cloud says she's in great shape. I mean, she is.
She's so boring, with the white and the black. Always the big boobies, and that's all. Everybody likes her because of that. She's just a big panda to me.
Can't help that.
I don't like her.
Sometimes it's a curse for women. It's not her fault.
No, anyway, I don't want to dwell on this issue any longer.
Yes,
Tifa is Tifa.
Agree. Can we move on?
Sure. So, speaking of, we have Aerith, we have Tifa, and we do now have Jessie with an expanded role. And I'm just wondering what both of you think of Jessie and her new role, because she does show interest in Cloud, and now there are people who ship Cloud with Jessie. What are your thoughts on that?
Who first? Me?
Gloria. Mm-hmm.
Gloria can go first. She complains about all the time, so let her go first.
You talk
sure thing, Gloria. Go ahead.
50% more than I do, Alfred. yeah, I liked Jessie. I thought she was playful. I mean, there are people that thought she was too thirsty, and well, yeah. But as Wedge said, it's all a game. Life's a stage and love's the play. So I think she realized Cloud was a bit awkward and dorky and was never gonna, So I liked her. It was sad when she died. So yeah.
Okay.
And Tifa obviously had no ill will towards her. So I think Tifa knew her character too and knew that she wasn't seriously coming onto Cloud or anything like that. Yeah, and Wedge essentially warned Cloud not to take it seriously. She's just like, she's an actress. So she's, yeah. I liked her. I thought she was funny.
Okay. And what did you think, Alfred, of Jessie?
Oh, Jessie, I have mixed feeling for her. On the one hand, I don't like her always so wanting to hug Cloud and kiss Cloud and get together with Cloud. Cloud only have half of Aerith, so I don't like that. But on the other hand, if there is another rival for Tifa, then maybe we can be friends too. So I conflicted also how I feel about Jessie. This is my true feeling. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes if something can distract Tifa from her bad motive, that might be a good thing. So I still need to think more about this point whether I like Jessie or not. That, yeah.
Time will tell, maybe. Okay. And we talked a little bit about where we thought the story was heading. So my question to you is, because regardless of what we think, we're not going to be able to control what happens, right? Ultimately, the decision is with the devs. So my question is, will you be willing, and I guess I will have Alfred answer this first, will you be willing to accept whatever the devs choose to do in the end? Are you open to what the devs might do?
Oh, of course, I am open, always open to an ending where Cloud and Air come together. That is where the story will go. That is how Final Fantasy original would have gone. And because the Arbiter is now dead, they are open to go that way, and I will accept that ending. I'm open minded in that respect. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Mm. And do you feel the same way, Gloria, that you're open to the possibilities, that you're open to wherever the devs are going to take Remake?
Sure, but the devs have also said they're going to remain faithful to the original game. And they have done that in the Midgar section. Everything that happened in Midgar happened in Remake. It was just expanded. Yeah, the ending, like I said, it's a theory, and that's another debate, I think. But I would personally like to see some slight, convergence of the timelines and have a little bit more Zack Aerith interaction. But hey, I'm not going to get my hopes set on any of that. So
No, there's not going to be no Zack Aerith. Zack
going to
is
go
now dead
immediately
in the past. Yeah,
I
Zack
mean,
is already out of the picture.
Cloud it could have been a flashback. We don't know. It could have been an extra timeline created.
Obviously, just a flashback.
They didn't see
Obviously.
each other. You can tell that Aerith and Zack had some kind of reaction as they passed. So whether they sensed each other, I don't know. But I'm open to. I don't think they're going to change it. I really don't. I think there's too much in the compilation now for them to just completely destroy it. It'd be unprofessional, I think. So I think Remake is going to be essentially very similar and just more in depth and fleshed out than the original.
Mm-hmm. And understood. Now, just hypothetically, because sometimes it happens, it's been known to happen in the past, if for some odd reason the devs went in a totally different direction. In other words, if they made what we're going to call the other pairing canon, depending on who we're talking to, if they made Cloti canon, if they made Clerith canon, the pair that you're not a fan of, what would be your reaction? Would you be done with the franchise at that point?
I think it was ridiculous that they would essentially break canon like that, considering you got Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus. But, I mean, hey, I'm not that invested. I can deal with it and move on. But if that
Okay.
happens, I'll be very surprised. And I don't think they are going to spent 24 years establishing these characters in the storyline, and then smash it all to pieces for just a small group of unhinged, toxic shippers. But hey,
Oh, I sorry, I cannot hold any longer. You call us Clerith unhinged. That is, oh, I'm shaking. It reminds me
yeah,
of video
you
that
are.
all over again, the same type of attitude, same as Linzo, same thing. You say, are we delusional? That is not true. The original game always put Cloud and Aerith together. That is the story. So
Well,
if there is
for
going
a
to
little
be
while in the
change
beginning, maybe.
that there's going to be change that make Cloti, I would say that is only for few reasons. One reason is there is now much more new Tifa fan and they have to cater. They have to make them happy, or they feel stressed. They feel pressure to change the storyline. That's how I
No,
see it.
I don't think they're going to
So
bow. I
yeah.
don't think Najima and Nomura have ever caved and compromised, their work for a few fans, and they're not going to do that. I don't think that's the sort of work ethic they have, but that's
You
me.
you underestimate us,
I
Clef.
mean,
We're not just a few fans. There is a
it was
lot
pretty
of
obvious Cloti was
lot of
established, part one.
that is
And
not
Aerith
true.
very,
There
very
are
much backed
many.
away after she saw the flower. She backed away, I think, once she realized. I think after they
She,
saw Tifa and
she
Tifa,
did not.
but
She did not back.
her
She did
entire
not back
attitude
away at all. She did not
changed
back away at all. She
as
might
she
be saying
was letting it.
maybe I have to work harder or step up the game to fight back to get Cloud back into her side. That's all.
Aerith would
That's the
be
most you
horrible,
can hope
horrible,
for.
horrible to do that to Tifa.
She is not horrible. This
She
is
would
true love we're
not
talking
to
about here. True
deliberately
love.
pursue
True
Cloud,
love.
knowing
So,
Tifa feels that way, would make her unlikable to me and a lot of people because
Tifa
everybody
is the same
knows
thing.
Tifa's feelings. It's just
Tifa
like
is
this.
so bad. She has been a bad she always bad. She is such a bully. Not let Cloud into her group.
No,
She
that's
is
a
so
miscalculation,
manipulative.
Alfred. We talked about that
She is
yesterday.
so I know. We talked about this yesterday, but she is such a bully. She is so
Okay.
manipulative.
I
She
think
make
you
she
have
she make
preconceived prejudices against Tifa, Alfred, because of your
that
ship.
is not true.
Very
I
common in the Clerith ship, whether it's very anti Tifa more than it's pro Clerith. So, yeah, I'm not surprised.
we are simply just making observation of the game. She make this young poor boy make a promise to her to come and protect her at the tower, and then because poor Cloud feel obliged because he a gentleman, he is a good man.
He's not
He
very
he tried to
thoughtful.
fulfill.
And Tifa surprisingly was. She's quite shy, so that's surprising that she actually got him to say that because
Or so
Tifa,
shy. I have
I
not seen.
reckon, as a
I
younger
have not
girl,
seen.
and I think maybe
I have not
Soldier
seen
Cloud
any shy.
intimidated her a little bit, but she
I
seemed
have
a
not
little
seen
bit more
any shy
braver
people
as a
like that.
child, as a 13-year-old, than she did as a 20-year-old. And with Soldier Cloud, I think Soldier Cloud turns her to water a little bit. She starts doubting herself because, I don't think she would put something like that on him as the present time in the game. She's very funny, she's very insecure around Cloud, I think. So she behaves like a friend to him, and she locks her feelings away in her heart. That's what her name means.
Oh, that is just a coincidence.
Okay.
You can't just say look hard me, lock the
Well,
heart. That is
she wasn't
rubbish.
born with that
That
name.
is
She was actually given it because that's what she does. She locks her
well,
heart away.
what heart? That's
Of her
heart is
character.
spelled HART.
It's like a pun.
Heart that
I know.
is
Okay.
different.
This is
What does pun mean? I don't understand the pun.
Never
Anyhow,
mind. I'm not.
Aerith is a better girl.
I don't want to give him an English lesson, so
Aerith, Aerith,
just move on.
Aerith, Aerith. I just have to say one thing. Aerith is the better girl. You know why? She never make Cloud do anything he does not want to do. That's why Aerith is the better girl.
Okay, well, she
My
literally made him stay in Sector 5 after he repeatedly said he had to get back. And
oh
then, like,
Cloud,
to be kept out
Cloud played
indefinitely,
the game.
rightly.
He played the game. He actually do want to stay with Aerith, you know.
No,
When
he
you
kept
go to
saying,
when
I
you
think there's
go
about 5 times he actually said no, he has to get back, and she dismissed him, which was pretty disrespectful because there was just a bombing of another reactor. So obviously he's dealing with something serious going on. So to keep her just in his neighborhood because she had a crush on him was a bit disrespectful, I believe. That was my personal opinion of her. But no, he stated numerous times he needed to get back.
oh, it's so obvious to all us Clerith that Cloud is just playing the love game, you know,
No,
playing
Cloud
hard to
doesn't do
get.
anything he
And
doesn't mean. He's not that sort of guy.
Cloud is just simply infatuated with Aerith. It's a whole Sector 5. I play Sector 5 many times. I play Sector
So
5 like 10 times over and over again. You say
okay, when
I can see
he
the
at her,
romantic
that's not
connection between the
what you
two.
think he's flirting. Alfred, when he says, "Quit acting like you know me," do you think Cloud's flirting there? Or he gets angry
Oh,
and realizes that wasn't the deal?
that's just a lover's teeth, you know, just a little
Yeah, but
bit of
he
tantrum.
literally
We
met
all have
her
a little
like
of that.
half hour before that. And she's demanding he
No,
meet
that
her
is.
mother. And yeah. They didn't know each other. He
Oh,
didn't remember her when he fell into the church. He didn't remember that she was the same girl that gave him the flower. So obviously she didn't have that much of an impact on him that he forgot.
that
So yeah,
is
and then
not true.
she basically strong arms him into being his bodyguard. He didn't ask. She didn't ask him. She told him, gave him no choice, and then
Well,
essentially came it
if
was
you
me, which
like,
is okay. I mean,
well, Cloud can simply
pretty
say,
Jesse.
"No, I don't want to be. I don't want to be your bodyguard. You know, I don't like you. I just go back." But he decided to stay. You know why he decided to stay? He decided to stay because he loved Aaron.
He started to
He
stay because
infatuated with Aaron.
the men were coming to take her away, and he's not an asshole. They
He
obviously coming
concerned
to take her
about
against.
her well-being. He concerned
Yeah, they
about
were
her
coming to take her
well-being.
against
That is why.
her will, so he stayed to protect her, and then she basically said, "Please do this for me." So obviously he knew that she was worried. So I mean, yeah, he's not just an
They
ass
say,
to go
say
bye and then leave her to it.
this this is a thing in the original game. They Cloud and Elf they laugh on the rooftop, ha ha ha, very funny, very romantic. Now in the remake they change a little bit. They make Cloud actually carry Elf. Oh my god, that is the most romantic scene in my view.
He carries Jesse
Almost
too.
as romantic. Oh, that doesn't count. Jesse was injured, you know. That is
Oh,
totally
Eric
different
falling
context. You
from the
take
roof.
out of context, you cannot say that. You
Yeah.
cannot put that out of context. You say,
Eric and Jesse's
that's
dialogue is very similar, like My Hero, things like that, and
that's
like
because Cloud is my hero too. You
it's
know,
very similar. Yeah.
he's so handsome. You know, he's so handsome. You know, but I would say that scene where Cloud is holding Aerith and then Aerith say my hero. Oh my god, it's like watching Titanic again, you know.
All right. I
It's
didn't
so
personally see
romantic,
their
so
chemistry.
romantic. Oh, there's so much chemistry. How could you not see it,
I've
Gloria?
seen
It's
it in the
so
train roll. There was a lot of chemistry there. I didn't.
train
I'm sorry
wall.
to say I didn't
What
see it
train
when
wall?
Cloud was
Train
running
wall?
about by her
What's a train wall?
girlfriends.
What train wall are you talking about? What's his
He
train wall
jumps
business?
after this in chapter 4 at the beginning. They get on the train. Barrett, Tifa, Cloud. Their IDs don't check out, so the scan comes, and then the slug rays come in to get rid of the threat of the terrorists, which are them. Cloud beats the slug rays within 2.5 minutes, I think, and then him and Tifa jump out of the train together and roll, and it's very there's a lot of sexual tension going on there. Like they stop rolling. He puts his arms back around her, even though it wasn't necessary. He holds her for a
What are you talking about? That did
then
not
he helps
happen. What are
her
you
feet
talking
to the
about?
stairs.
What are you
This
talking
is
about?
the
In the
remake.
in the original game,
No, we're talking about
Tifa
remake.
jumped. No. Just hear me out. Hear me out very quickly. Tifa jumped Alfred in the original game. Then Cloud jump out after her. That is exactly what happened in Remake. What are you talking about, Cole? What is
So
raw
if you don't
business?
beat the slug rays, he will, but literally it's like a 2-year-old could beat the slug. You don't have to do anything but mash the square buttons. And there's nothing fancy. It's not like a big boss. So you beat them. So if you don't beat the slug rays, you literally have to do nothing.
But
Just
I
stand
did
there and let
beat
the
the.
timer run out.
No,
It's not
no,
really.
that
It's
is
like
incorrect.
telling Cloud
That
to
is
stand down,
incorrect.
essentially, which is weird thing to do. But hey, I know that Clerith have done well. Clerith have apparently claimed it's an option. It's only an option if you don't play Cloud as canon, because Cloud's not going to stand there and do nothing. He's going to fight. So
What are you to what are you to say how Cloud fight? You are not Cloud. You don't know how he fight. He
Cloud's
may
actually
want to
just stand
stand there
there
say
and have these
he
slug
might
rays.
or he might say
Yeah.
or he might think all this luck are too easy. You know, I might want to toy with them just for fun. You know, that's he could
He
be doing
literally
that.
has to
How
do
do you
nothing
know that?
but stand there. Because if you hit square a few times, they're dead. So he has to stand there and wait 2.5 minutes, which is, I don't know, I think that's a pretty salty thing to do, sitting there waiting for the timer to run out just because you don't want to roll with Tifa. But I know that it's something that they claim is an option. I think it's an option if you're ridiculous and you're a loser and you literally make Cloud just stand there and do nothing, which is not. He believes he's Soldier First Class. He is not going to just stand there and do nothing. This is completely out of character for him in the beginning of the game when he's still under Soldier Cloud persona, for him to do nothing. So you're essentially telling him to stand down. It's ridiculous. It's not Cloud. Sorry,
Well,
Alfred.
if they
Alfred,
if
I'm
they
sorry to
give
interrupt.
it, oh
Alfred,
that's okay.
I'm
Yep.
sorry. Can I ask Alfred, when you played the game, did you beat the slug rays? How did that sequence play out for you?
Oh, maybe I did not play that part. Maybe I watched that part on YouTube. I maybe busy that day or something. So I
How
say
did you
no, I
skip
skip
it?
over that one.
You can't skip the part
Oh,
unless you're in hard mode. Like once you finish your original, that's when you can skip. You can't skip it the first time you play.
it.
You can't skip
Or
chapters.
maybe I.
You didn't
Or
play it. Alfred, did you only watch the cutscenes on YouTube?
no. I play the game. I assure you, I did play
You
the game.
can't
But you
skip
know,
chapter
sometimes
4. You can't do that the first playthrough. Everybody has to play every single chapter the first playthrough. You can only skip chapters when you beat it the first time, and then you can choose to do hard mode or whatever mode you want to do. If you want
oh
to do hard mode.
I remember now. I remember now. Sometimes I press the skip, maybe skip the cutscene, and maybe I skip off some
Oh, you skip
cutscene.
the cutscene,
Um,
not the chapter. Okay.
I confusing now. I don't quite remember exactly what I do. Like I said yesterday, I'm not encyclopedia. I don't remember every single thing that I do. But all I know is that if they give you the option, one option, option A or option B, it's optional. It's
Really
not
not.
a canon scene. If it's optional, it's not a canon scene if it's optional, So you have a choice. Like I say in OG, like the original game, you control Cloud. Cloud can choose who he wants to be with. That is all. We make the same, no different.
Okay, if you decide not to fight the slug race, Cloud will still immediately shout out for Tifa the instant he's out of the
That
train, and then say, "There you
that
are." So
that make
his focus
that
is on
doesn't
Tifa,
matter.
whether he jumps with her or not.
Oh well, of course, focus on Tifa. It's only Tifa. What you gonna
He
say? Oh,
says
Barrett,
that
are
he's
you all?
worried about her,
Oh,
and then you
oh,
have
Barrett, are you okay? Oh, Barrett, are you okay? Is he not gonna say something like that? Of
no,
course, Tifa is there. So
but he
Tifa, are
doesn't
you
say that
okay?
to Aerith either. During battle, if Tifa falls unconscious, he calls out her name, or he says he's sorry. During the Crab Warden fight, which is at the end of Corkscrew Tunnel, he calls out to Tifa to be careful. I've never heard him say that to Aerith in any battle, that he's been with her. He'll say some bodyguard you turned out to be, something like that. But with Tifa, he will very specifically call her name.
That
Tifa, I'm
does not
sorry.
make
Tifa,
any
I'm sorry.
conclusion whatsoever.
Just
No
Tifa.
conclusion
Tifa, watch
whatsoever.
out. Tifa, every time Tifa sighs, it's Tifa, are you okay? Tifa, like, he is very conscious of Tifa. She only has to breathe the wrong way, and Cloud is zeroing in on it to see if she's
Oh,
okay.
that is ridiculous. Breathe the wrong way, and then he is concerned
No, like,
about
yeah,
people.
a few times
That
she
is no.
sighs and he picks it up immediately. Whereas, yeah, I haven't seen him do that with Aerith or Jessie.
Does Cloud sigh as much as when he see Aerith in the beautiful red dress? Is that the
Yes.
sign
No,
that
he
you
just
be
stares
talking
because
about?
he doesn't recognize her. He says, Aerith, is that you? In the Japanese.
Or
He's
that alone of one. Of course, he recognized Aerith. Aerith looked like a princess, so
Well,
beautiful,
yeah,
in the
well, she
red
looks
dress.
nice. She did, but he didn't recognize her.
Of course, she
So,
recognized her. What are you talking about? This
so in the Japanese, when
moderator.
she turns up in the red dress, he says, Aerith, is that you? Is that you, Aerith? Something along those lines.
Although
Not
I did
exact.
not say the Japanese version, so I cannot comment yes or no to that. But all I know is that Cloud only sighed once. He only sighed when he saw the heiress in the red, beautiful dress. That
Yeah, he
to
sighs a lot
him,
around Aerith, and it's
I
not.
think, I think at, I think at that moment, he said, "I want to marry this girl." There is no other, no other
I
result that you
mean,
can come or
sure,
conclusion you can say to that.
he's yeah. Genova is using Zack and Tifa to construct this persona, so you don't know how much of Zack's memories and what Zack's stories, because when Cloud was unconscious, Zack was talking to him like he wasn't. So you don't know how much Cloud absorbed from Zack. You don't know if Zack was talking about Aerith or anything. It's kind of hazy at this point with Cloud. He'll explain it when he's better. But so it's speculation now, which is why I believe Aerith said it's not real, because he's not him.
Oh, that's rubbish. You know that's not true. He
No,
say that because
because
she
not
say
real
that
means
because
it's not real. That's the only. It's not real. His feelings aren't real. Aerith is telling him it's not real, and in Japanese, it's an illusion, which is essentially Cloud's whole persona. It's an
that's
illusion.
not
He's not
that
really Soldier First Class. It's not,
you
so
call
Aerith
you
is
are
not going
you
to
are
flirt with a
Cloti.
guy for an entire chapter and then turn around and say, "Don't fall in love with me." Well, you don't come onto him then. So it doesn't make any
you
sense for
are
her to say, "Don't fall in love with me," but she flirted with him the entire time. So she's saying it's not real, meaning your reality now is not real. That's what she's saying to him. She doesn't say, "Oh, I don't want you to be hurt and heartbroken when I die." She doesn't talk about that. She says it's not real, which is, there's no other way you can take it. And in the
this
Japanese, it's an illusion, which means it's not real. It's
this
fantasy.
is a typical Cloti mindset. You only focus on the words that come
Well,
out of Cloud mouth, out
yeah,
of Aerith mouth. You have to learn to read between the lines. You have to have a higher EQ. Sometimes things maybe no said, but you understand in your
you're,
heart.
you're you're reading between the lines, skewered by your bias. So I'm
That
not going to
is
read anything.
that
I'm just going to go by exactly what Era said. And
that
she
type
said
of
it's
thing.
real. The Japanese, it's an illusion, which means it's not real. It's fantasy. It's Disneyland.
Well, there is
Sorry.
nothing wrong with Disneyland interpretation. It's just simply you have to sometimes read
Moderator,
between the lines. That's all
I
I'm
know
saying.
it's a
Read
very
between the
common
lines.
thing that Clerith will add their own opinion on the dialogue. Instead of saying that's what they said, they'll say this is what they meant. No, you can't read the minds of CGI characters. What they said is what they said. You have to take it at face value. And yeah,
If that
I
if
noticed
that
that's
if
very
that's
common with
true,
Clerith. They'll
if
say this
that's
is
true, if that
what Aerith meant, but I don't know what she meant. She's like created, and she said that specific line for a reason. We've got to take that at face value, not read into our fantasies of what we wished she'd said or wished she'd meant. So
it
I'm
is
just going to
all
take it
this
straight. He said it's not real, then it's not real.
is only an old game all dialogue, all the vocal in game is always up for the player interpretation. If you were that clear,
No, it's
then
only the
why do
choice.
you need to go to your why do
Uh,
you need to go to your magazine, what you call them Ultimania this and Ultimania that?
because
That's why you need to go to Ultimania. If it was that clear, then why would you have to go to
the
secondary
original
source
game
material?
wasn't that clear because it was these blocky little polygons with just written dialogue, and a lot of the times it got messed up with the translation from Japanese to English. So the Ultimanias just expanded upon it, and now that Remake came out, there's like the expression and the body language and what they say. So it's essentially what we got in the Ultimanias with the original game is what we're getting as a whole package with Remake. Plus, the devs said there would be no more confusion. It wouldn't be up to anyone's interpretation. It would be clear, the story now.
It's all in my
That's why
opinion,
there's no
it's
choice
always
for the
up to
player and things like that.
interpretation. There is always choice between what Cloud, who he wants to go, which girl he wants to go with, and
Okay.
and
Well,
and
like I
that, in
said,
my view, is the way it's supposed to be. And they write Ultimania for the new remake as well, which does mean that it's not always 100% here.
it's
That's
just
that
a
is
backup
my view on it.
of the story. Actually, it counters all these people's theories. That's why they release Ultimanias, because these theories start flying around and people go, oh, but they meant this and she meant that and Cloud meant that. That's where the Ultimanias come in and say, no, this is the story. So it's
Just
a,
some
it's a
fancy,
backup of the game,
fancy,
not
expensive magazine. That's
something
all it is.
else.
I don't like the Ultimania. That's just magazine. All you have to
No,
do is
but
just
it's
read into the
canon.
original game.
It's still canon, so it's just an expansion on the games. So there's no confusion. That's all.
Moderator, I think we have exhausted. I
Yeah.
think we
Sure.
are.
Yeah, we know how.
I don't think we can reconcile our differences in this here.
Definitely,
Yeah.
we know that you have differences of opinion when it comes to the Ultimania. I do want to talk a little bit about. We mentioned Aerith's resolution. Some people consider it Cloud's resolution, but she does say it's not real. And I just wanted to clarify, Alfred. I don't know if we addressed this with you. We may have this idea that Cloud has a false persona. Are you in line with that? Because I have heard some people who feel that Cloud might have knowingly misrepresented himself. Um, so I just want to clarify your take on Cloud and his false persona. Was he knowingly misrepresenting? Was he not telling the truth? What was going on with Cloud and his frame of mind, in your opinion?
Oh, I don't think that there is much to read into in relation to to any differences in personality. Cloud is Cloud. That is all. No, there is talk about him being a different person and then becoming another person. I don't think that is the case. He is simply just a one person, and he may be putting on maybe a little bit of a persona you like when with Aerith, just to maybe play the romantic game. That's how I see. That's how I see it.
Mm,
That's my view of it.
okay. Any comments on that, Gloria? Or are we good on that subject?
Cloud's false persona is the core of the Final Fantasy story. There is no story without Cloud believing that he was soldier first class. That it's just, I mean, he talks about it himself. The developers talk about it. It's written in the Ultimanias. I know Alfred doesn't believe it, but they're canon, and it's talked about his false persona, how he took Zack's parts of his personality, parts of his memories, parts of his battle style, and what Genova was an awakening him through Tifa and through Zack. And then you literally have a 40-minute sequence in the live stream where his psyche is in 4 pieces and Tifa helps put him back together. It's the most ridiculous theory I've heard of the Clerith saying he just lied. No, a Japanese company are not going to make this liar, douchebag guy that just makes shit up as one of their most iconic figures in their games. I'm sorry, it's just
I don't think he was lying. Maybe
realistic at all.
he may be projecting another side of his
That's lying.
personality. You know,
If you're knowingly doing
like some like
it's lying.
I know some people who have nothing better to do, but they put on fake accent, and they try to make you think that there's something else and they from some other place. And I heard about some loser like that, but no, not in this case. Cloud is cloud. There is no
Okay. No, he's not. He's
soldier
literally
cloud.
not.
There is no wheel cloud. It just
Even in
that is
Remake,
not how.
they sorry. Even in Remake, they say he's confused when he's with Jesse and Aerith. He doesn't quite know how to take Aerith's advances, and Jesse just, I think, startles him. But with Tifa, it says explicitly that his true self comes out. Now, if he's just his true self all the time, what true self is coming out? That suggests what he is false, and that Cloud is deep within, and at times he comes out for Tifa. It's ridiculous.
You have to rely on a magazine to explain to you about things. Again, that is not.
They're canon to the story.
They're
confirmed canon too.
Very simple for someone to say that it's canon if you read it from another source. We support your view.
Square Enix have confirmed their canon. So, the Ultimate is a canon.
Well,
it's true.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Alfred. Putting the Ultimanias aside, do you perceive a difference in Cloud's attitude toward Tifa versus Aerith? Do you feel like he carries himself differently when he's with the two women?
Oh, that is obvious. With Aerith, he is so soft, so considerate, always wanting to see if she is okay, always wanting to see where she is and whether she need any help. Tifa, she just find Tifa all boring, neck, just like in Advent Children, neck to the point that he had to leave the house. He cannot take her anymore, So that is how Cloud can sometimes be a little bit different in his personality. Of course, different. If I am with someone I want to be with, I am happy. I am in good mood. If I'm with someone that I don't want to be with, of course in bad mood, I get angry. I get, I sometimes cry. It's just not. It's of course they will be different. Doesn't mean they is a totally different person. How can two people be different people? How can two people say differently? Everybody speak the same way. It's ridiculous. It's delusional. Cloti. This is Cloti. What I forget the word that I want to use. Propaganda. That's the word propaganda. It all is just Cloti propaganda.
Square Enix agrees with Cloti's then, because Cloud's false persona is literally the core of the game. Even Nojima said his favorite part of the original game was in the mental realm when Cloud's psyche was put back together again. So
I need to understand this Nojima guy more.
Everybody who's played knows. People who are pretty big fans of the game know that he's not just making things up. He's not just switching his personality around for one person over another. He literally is functioning under this false persona that he was soldier first class. No sane person makes a lie up like that and then lives it. Like, you don't say, hey, I'm a neurosurgeon, then walk into a hospital and start doing brain surgery on someone when you're not.
That's a ridiculous analogy. You can't say neurosurgeon and then go operate surgery.
Like a first class soldier which could have got his ass killed. Like, he's taking on enemies that he's never trained for. Because he truly believes he's first class soldier and he can beat them. So
who makes
yourself, you're lying. You're not going to do something like that. You're going to say, this. I'm not.
And who make him join first class? That Tifa, that bad Tifa. You see, make him join the soldier so he can.
No, he
promise
told her he was going to join. She didn't say anything before that.
He joined soldier because Tifa make him promise some bullshit. It's
he told Tifa he was going to join, and then she said, "Will you come and save me if I'm ever in a pinch?"
That is so manipulative. Typical
Oh, she's
manipulative
13
Tifa.
and she had a crush
Fully
on
Tifa.
him. Yeah, they're kids.
I
She's a
don't
kid.
think they have a
I'm not
crush
going to
on
sit there
him.
and attack a kid. It's pretty sweet. The water tower scene, but they're only kids. Tifa's a kid. Cloud's a little
Or
dorky
that
14-year-old who's got a crush and he wants to go away and be this big soldier to impress her.
that scene make me vomit so much. Oh my god, it's like vomit, like a vomit, backfire wise. It's just absolutely bad scene. Tifa manipulated, always bully Cloud, poor
I
Cloud. All he want to do is just to be a normal guy, and forced him to go to become soldier and almost get
Oh,
himself
okay.
killed as well. That's why I
That's
don't
like
like
fan
Tifa. I
fiction.
don't
I'm
like her.
sorry, Alfred. That's fan fiction. That's literally not
That,
what happens. You might
that
want to
is not
watch the
fan
scene
fiction. That is
again on YouTube just to recap that. No, he tells Tifa first that he's going to do
No,
it.
I don't have to go back to YouTube to watch
I
again. I
think you
have
should.
already seen one. See once is already enough. So
Okay. Okay, well, moderator, I'm sure you know that. Okay, can we move on? Because
Okay, yeah, again, move on. Now, I did want to, might be a minor point, but just for clarification, you mentioned Alfred, I think it was Advent Children, and that Cloud
yes.
when he interacts with Tifa, I think it was neck. I don't recall
nag,
that
nag,
neck.
nag,
What was neck?
Sorry,
nag.
sorry. It's the
She's
neck.
nagging.
As
Yeah.
in like always talking, telling him to do things to the point where
Oh, I'm
you get
sorry.
Nag.
neck. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nag. Oh, I'm
I
sorry. I
spelled
do
it's spelled
apologize.
yeah neck as in NAG. G. That's neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a somewhat bad connection here. I apologize for
Oh,
this.
that's no
Okay, thank
problem
you for
at
the
all. Oh,
clarification.
and I also have to say that all the ding ding sound is coming from my phone. I apologize for that. That must be my Twitter notification that the narrative have a new post. So I try to turn it off, but I can't turn it off. I always need to see what she said.
You
So
can
what she said is
you can
very
control
important
it.
to the
Mute.
fandom. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Now that you mention that, I appreciate it, Alfred. But if you could perhaps mute, because the notifications will still be there, and you can maybe consult them afterward. That would be helpful if you could do that for us. I would appreciate it.
Oh, okay. I will now turn it off. Yeah. But I don't want to miss any post that come from her or for any other of
Understood. But
the big Clerith. Because they speak the truth about the game. So it's important
understood.
to me. Yeah.
Understood. And I did want to circle back to a question. I don't know if we got your answer, Alfred. So you already said that you feel in some ways that remake is kind of skewing toward Cloti just to kind of appease the masses. Now, what if the devs decide to go there and they make Cloti indisputably the canon couple?
It's not
Because there are some people. Yes,
impossible. It's just simply not the story. Why would they do something like that? Why would they change the original story to make it completely different? That is not
understood.
no longer Final Fantasy VII. It's not a remake. It is, you might as well call it a stupid love story or something along those lines. It's just not the real original game anymore. So if they do that, it's simply if they absolutely do that. If they do that, then I think I will cry and forever. I don't think I could ever recover from such a shock.
You might want to stock up
For
on
me,
Alfred. Just a heads up.
that's a typical Cloti reply. Oh, they bully us, you see. Don't like that. Don't
Just
like that at all.
just in case. Hey, because
And
I
what are you going to do when Cloud finally declare his love for Aerith?
I don't
Even
believe
if
that's going to
Aerith dies,
happen. I'll just start writing
even if Aerith,
that
even if Aerith die
happen.
again, even if she die again, Cloud will still hold on to Aerith in his heart forever. Just like
No,
in Advent
he'll
Children.
meet up with
That's
Zach. He'll
exactly
find
what
out what
happened in
happened.
Advent Children.
That he never abandoned
In
her, and
Advent,
they'll have a reunion. It'll be okay. I'm not.
Ad,
I'm not even entertaining it, Clerith happening at all, because I understand the original story, the compilations, the source material. It just does not. It's not possible at this point. if they decide to break canon on the entire compilation and tell a different story, I will be very surprised. Stranger things have happened, but I'm not going to hold my breath that that's going to happen.
I think you need to prepare yourself for the worst, Gloria.
Okay.
I'm
Thank you
just
for the
trying to
warning,
be
but
honest with
be
you.
alright. Yeah.
That you're going to find yourself in a lot of emotional distress,
No, I'll
emotional
just
distress,
write
and
Zach and Tifa fan fiction. I'm not that invested. I just understand the story. So,
well,
I mean, I love the game and I love the characters, but if Square Enix want to take it another direction, I'll find something else to enjoy. It's be fine.
can you see this moderator? They seem the typical Cloti behavior. Now they're trying to be dismissive because they realize that there will be a strong chance that Clerith will be made
No,
official.
I'm just saying
That's all I have to
hypothetically, I
say
don't
about
really
that.
believe it.
That's all I have to say about that. That's all. We can move on to Advent Children now because I've been dying to talk about that one. That is so
Alright,
good.
yeah. I don't think we both don't believe it's going to happen, so it's a stalemate.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yes, and I think we definitely can move on to Advent Children. I did want to just mention some quick little moments that people like to bring up, Clerith moments, Cloti moments, and just get your quick impressions. For example, there's been talk of high fives, right? I think Aerith and Cloud have about 3 high fives between them. Some people think they're significant, some people not. What do we think of the high five moments between Cloud and Aerith?
It's friendly.
Who go first? Oh,
I already went first.
Friendly? You believe that it's
friendly.
friendly?
Eric does draw out Cloud awkwardness, like he's very
exactly. We agree on that point right there. He draw
I mean,
Cloud, make Cloud a more open person. It's
well,
all
there's
to
no
do with Aerith, nothing
sexual
to do with Tifa. That we agree there. We agree.
well,
That's very good. We
Tifa
start to
doesn't
agree
bring
on
it to
something.
his attention. I'm sorry. During chapter, I believe it's 7, during when they're trying to open the door to go out and fight the airbuster, they move those levers. And Tifa goes to high five Cloud, but he just stands there. She doesn't bring it to his attention and embarrass him. But the when he doesn't respond, there's it's
That's
just
because he don't want to high five Tifa. That's the reason.
It's kind
He
of a
don't want to high
thing.
five Tifa because she is annoying. That's the
Well,
only
he didn't
reason
high
why.
five Aerith either, but she sort of pushed him until he felt like he had to. Otherwise, it was just going to get even more awkward. But Tifa,
No, that's not true. That is not true.
That's her personality.
There was even one point where Cloud went to high five and Aerith didn't high five him back. You see that is not correct when you say that
Because they
Cloud's
got their
annoying.
wires crossed. Yeah, they just don't mesh. Tifa won't bring
Do
to his
not want to
attention that
high
he's
five.
acting
He
weird.
does want to high five, but Aerith is maybe just playing the game a little bit. Dragging him along into the game
There's
of love.
nothing sexual in high five. It's kind of weird to me that anyone would think a high five means something more than just a friendly gesture.
What are you talking about? High five is the most romantic thing that you can do with another girl.
Maybe in Hong Kong it is, but I've never experienced that here. Sorry, Alfred.
Oh, in Hong Kong, I had not high five anyone in Hong Kong for so long after SARS and then COVID. It's simply not we do it anymore. But in general, in reality, high five is very romantic in my opinion.
Okay, I think it's friendly and a little bit awkward. And also Tifa and Aerith high five too. So then they high 10, and there's nothing sexual between them. So yeah, it's just a friendly thing, friendly gesture. Aerith tries to bring Cloud out of his awkwardness a little bit, and
it doesn't count when two
but he's just
when two girls high five, it doesn't
to
mean
do anything
anything.
like.
But when a man and a woman high five, it definitely means they have romantic feeling for each other.
I didn't see any sexual tension, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's just you.
Okay.
May I ask, because we brought up this idea of culture, I guess we can say, how things are done in different places. Do either of you think that could factor into the perception of these various relationships? For example, the fact that Alfred is from Hong Kong versus someone from Australia. Do you think that might factor into things, the culture?
Oh, definitely, Molly. Oh, definitely. It's
I've
just
never been to Hong Kong, so I can't say, but definitely in Australia, people don't high five as a sign that they're into someone. It's something you do with
oh
your mates,
oh
not
in
romantic partners.
it's
Um,
conservative. We Asian people are very conservative.
I've
You
never
know,
heard that from anyone from Asia that I know that's in the Cloti fandom, but could be
we are we are
just
conservative people.
individual perception.
That's why I don't like Tifa. She dressed no conservative. Aerith is a good girl. She just a long dress, cover up to her ankle, and then she wear the long jacket. You see, no showing of the shoulder. They
Oh,
see
well, Tifa's a
conservative
martial
view.
artist. She needs to move and she can't be restricted by clothes. And Tifa is very shy. I mean, she might dress like she's showing a lot of skin, but she's very shy and reserved, whereas Aerith is very in your face, very flirty. So they're the opposite of how they're dressed.
I have
So,
not
I
met
mean,
any girl
I
who is
don't think
shy
we
that
should
wear
judge
something
someone
like
by their
that.
clothes. I
I have
think
not met any. I have not met any girl who is shy who wears something like what Tifa is wearing. They
Tifa
are
is like
definitely not a shy person.
she moves around a lot. If you've played the game, you see how she kicks. She needs something that's going to move with her and not restrict her movement. So her uniform is for her fighting style.
I cannot comment because I don't use Tifa at all when I play. I always switch
But
out
have you
and go
even
to
seen her
Barret or
play
go
as the
to
UI
Barret.
would do for her? I mean,
No, I don't want to watch her on her YouTube
okay,
anyway.
well,
She
listening
just annoy me, I
Tifa is
only
the only character who can raise the stagger bar over 200%. So once
I
you get
don't know what you are talking about. A stagger bar, decent
the
stagger
stagger
bar.
bar,
All
once
I
you
know is that
pressure a boss enough, he goes into stagger. And then once it's in stagger, Tifa is the only character who can raise the stagger bar, which increases the damage that is then inflicted. So you can get it up to as far as 500 with Tifa if you've got
I
um,
don't know what stagger
rate.
bar you are talking about. I always use Aerith
She's
and
the
Aerith
tank.
don't stagger
She
anyone.
her
Just
hit
don't.
her damage is higher than Cloud's a lot of the time, and because she's so fast, she can deal big damage in a small amount of time. So no, she's essential to the game. I don't know how you could finish top secrets or even like playing hard mode without Tifa's true strike. Like, and but that's just my fighting style, maybe my play, the way I play.
And I don't
Well,
want to get too off track into the mechanics, but I suppose I am
yeah, let's not
curious
get
if
into the
you're
mechanic. It's that's when I cannot say much about because I focus more on the story rather than all the fighting. I don't
You
want
can
to fight.
play it.
Fighting is not something which I am. Uh,
understood.
The
Just
entire game is
just a
about
quick
fighting.
question.
what are
You know
you
this.
talking about? It's about a love story between two people who are strangers at first. Nothing to do about fighting. All you
Oh,
think about is
okay.
you Cody,
And
very
then
so violent.
it's
You think
about
about
Cloud
fighting,
and
this and fighting
Sephiroth.
that. It's
Um,
that's where we don't we come from different places in the world. We call it always fighting, always very aggressive,
it's because she's
bullying.
a
It's,
martial
they
artist
know
and they're fighting Shinra at first, and then they'll go out and fight Sephiroth and Genova
that
and
is
other
why you
enemies
are
along the
so
way.
violent. So violent. Love the
Um,
bloodshed and the fighting and all the
okay, there's no
bullying
blood.
and
There's no blood in
bullying,
the remake. I
bullying and making fun, calling me a clown. I mean, your dad's that bastard. Anyway, I now not concentrating on.
Well,
sorry.
I did just want to. No problem, and this is just a brief question of curiosity, and then we'll move on. But if I understand correctly, Alfred, you are not familiar with the stagger mechanics. Is that correct? So I assume that means you never staggered an enemy. Am I correct?
I don't remember or recall whether I stagger anything more. I don't even know what stagger means, but Aerith don't need to stagger anybody. I think
Sure. So
yeah,
I
she
guess
just
I
do her
just
magic spell, just like a good girl use magic,
She
They
has no defense and she's slow, but
don't
she
have
does
to
have
hit anyone with
uses.
her
She does
bare
have a
fist.
lot of uses as a mage.
She a good clean girl, that don't have to fight with her
I
bare
think
fist.
we're getting a false persona of Tifa just by her outfit. but she's very, very shy and insecure
It
in her
may
own
it
way.
may maybe because of
Very
my upbringing,
cautious.
a very conservative upbringing. Maybe that might be to do. But
Okay, but
putting
created
aside the
Tifa, and that's a conservative culture. It's like Tifa's not like a self-aware human. She's a creation of Square Enix, and they're from a very conservative culture. So I'm just saying.
that is why they have to highlight that Tifa is not the main character of Final Fantasy VII.
Well,
It's
she's
always
the
Aerith and
heroine.
Cloud.
She's the main heroine that stays till the end. Although
If
Aerith is the
if
heroine as well, Tifa is the heroine that will stay
It
for the entire game.
all goes back to the original game. If Tifa was really the main character, then why would they put Aerith and Cloud on the Pepsi Cup as merchandise, or they put their two banners next to each other? They put two
Uh,
banners next to each other. It means that they love each other. You know, it's so
uh,
clear that
I mean,
promotion, when they do the promotion, they always promote the two main characters, and they always put Carl and Arrow together. That means that you love that if
that's pretty. It's pretty like it's pretty even like, how they'll put characters like in what positions. It really doesn't stay in a trend of certain, like they'll move them around, and yeah, this is kind of ridiculous how they're standing in a Pepsi cup. I mean, what?
that's not ridiculous at all. It means that they are the leading couple, like Romeo and Juliet,
Okay.
like Jack and Rose in Titanic. Love a beautiful traditional love story. You know,
Yeah. People don't usually fall in
that
love
is
in
why
TV.
that or why not? Why is that? Why is that not real or something
No,
that could happen
because
in real life? You know,
Rose didn't just lose her first love and have Jack remind her of him. So it's she was actually
I
engaged. Yeah, it's not the same at all. It's just ridiculous analogy. So
well, maybe the analogy might not be the most appropriate in this discussion, but yeah,
yeah,
the
but
point I
still,
try to make is that if the point I try to make is that the promotional material is also very important in explaining who is the true canon couple,
okay, I don't agree
Carl
with
and
that. I
Aerith.
think that's kind of silly, but okay, can we move on?
Sure. So I just want to touch on maybe two main points having to do with remake, and then before we move on, we mentioned resolutions. So first of all, I'd like to ask, which resolution did each of you get? I think we can guess, but just to confirm, which
Mm.
resolution?
Tifa's, and then I also
Alfred,
did.
what?
Sorry,
Yes.
was it Alfred
Oh, I'm
first?
sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Gloria.
I did Tifa's first. I got Tifa's.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen
Mm-hmm.
Eris on YouTube. Out of curiosity, I watched it.
Okay.
And I got Barrett's too because it was during a HUD mode playthrough where I was getting I didn't need to get all the different outfits for Tifa, so I didn't need to do her side quest. So I skipped Tifa's side quest and then got Barrett in the resolution. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I haven't got Eris because I pick Tifa in the sewers essentially.
Mm-hmm. Right. What about you, Alfred? Which resolution did you get in your
There,
game?
there is only one resolution. That resolution is cloud resolution. That's the only
Eris.
resolution for me. And all the other resolutions are probably fake YouTube video. You know, people do fake things like that. You know, the edit and stuff like that. So for me, it's only cloud resolution. That the one with cloud and air, and air don't want to break cloud heart. That's the only one that I ever got. I don't know where the other one come from. I don't understand them. I pick air in the store and and I always treat Aerith well, just exactly how Cloud will treat Aerith in the real
I don't
game,
treat
and
Eris
therefore I get
badly.
the
I just
Cloud resolution.
use Tifa when they fall down the hatch from Don Corneo's mansion. Yeah, I just pick Tifa. I'm never nasty to Aerith. I mean, you don't even have the
That
option to be nasty to her, but I just choose Tifa in the beginning of the series.
I saw something very interesting on YouTube about this, and also on the I love story of love on Tumblr. Is that Cloud? He
We're not talking
naturally
about- oh my God.
he naturally facing Aerith when he see the two girls there. So that means he naturally leaning toward going to Aerith. The
Yeah,
game
but that's
wants him
like
to go to
internal
Aerith.
mechanics of how he stands. It just turned out that way. But you can read more into it if you want.
There's no need to read more into it. It's so obvious to anyone who with a clear mind, and not a biased Cloti mind. It's just that he is
That's
already
literally the
turning
only
toward
choice. The only choice in the entire remake part 1 was the sewers, who you wake up first. You don't get choices anymore. They're removed.
That means you have
I
to
mean,
use your finger.
you can deny the drink first, but he's still going to get it. And he's still going to say it's beautiful to Tifa. He's going to look in Tifa's eyes and say beautiful.
Oh, I heard those arguments, but that is the most ridiculous thing I ever seen.
He's
Say
being
beautiful to
smooth
people.
talker.
Say
It's like,
beautiful. He's
nobody
saying
calls a
the
drink
drink is
beautiful. They're going
beautiful.
to go, oh, it tastes nice. They're not going to say beautiful. He
The,
literally, the focus is on, like, the drink sort of fades out of focus. So he's staring at Tifa. He's holding the drink up, but he's looking into Tifa's eyes. The drink is the same color as Tifa's eyes. He's beautiful.
it's
No,
a
that's like
typical.
he was being a smooth talker. He was owning it on that. I'm sorry, he was not calling the drink beautiful. He made
He
out
was
that he was,
calling
but
the
he's
drink
good.
beautiful.
Everyone with a smidge of intelligence can see he
I
was doing Tifa beautiful.
Oh
But
my god,
the point is, you
I am
can't.
now shaking my
It
head
doesn't
so much.
change
My
the.
head hurt now. I'm shaking my head so much. I might need to go see my acupuncture this afternoon.
I
But
mean,
it's all I'm saying.
yeah,
That is the
it's
most
obvious.
stupidest thing I have ever read. He is saying the drink is beautiful. He look at Tifa. Where else he going to look at? He's going to look at the
She
wall and
reacts
say,
to
"Oh,
that
that's
too. She gets
beautiful."
all very
That's
blushy and
well,
yeah.
that's her being delusional and thinking
Okay.
that Cloud is so beautiful to her.
Cloud is
Maybe
just
I
being
cannot
sold to
speak
play
for
very
her.
cocky,
I cannot
confident.
speak for
Yeah.
Tifa. Always the drink. Yes, the drink was red. You know why the drink was beautiful? Because the same as Aerith's red dress. That's why he said it's beautiful, and
It's
therefore
pink. Do you mean her
it's.
jacket? But it's more like hot pink. Um.
Oh no! It come on my resolution on my screen as red. I don't know what you are talking about.
Okay.
She have a
But
red
she
jacket,
wears
and I
pink
also
for Zach. Zach
and
asked
I
her to.
also talking. And
You showed your.
I don't care what Zach say. Zach is already out of the
I
picture
forgot
in
that
this
you
case.
don't like Zach.
Uh,
Yeah, but my
I,
point was, it doesn't change. Like, you might get the choice to ignore Aerith in Sector 8, but she's going to give you the flower no matter what. And the same for Tifa. You can say you don't want to drink, but she's going to pour you one, and then Clyde's going to call her beautiful. So it's the only real choice you have between the two girls is the sewer. And the outcome then is, I mean, if you've done the side quests for Chapter 3 and Chapter 8, if you do them, because if you don't do them, you get Barrett. But if you do both and you pick either one of the girls in the sewer, that's the resolution you're going to get between Tifa or Aerith. It's not Cloud's resolution. Can we stop calling that secondhand embarrassment? It's literally Aerith's resolution. I'm cringing every time I say Clouds because it's just this ridiculous trope.
It is
that's
Cloud
around.
resolution. Just like the theme of Final Fantasy VII is Cloud's theme.
No,
The song that they play now.
Well, I'm pretty sure we talked about where he heard that
Cloud's theme.
yesterday, moderator.
That is the Cloud theme. That is
Cloud heard Tifa play that when he was a little boy living next door to her. That
I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, we did. So that's Tifa playing the piano, and that becomes Cloud's theme, which is very Cloti to me. I mean, there's no way around it, but okay.
It is so clear. It is Cloud theme. That's why Square Enix released the two music box, one for Cloud theme, and one for Aerith theme. That means that they are supposed to be a couple music box together, so romantic. That is exactly why.
Yeah, it is Cloud's theme. It's Final Fantasy VII theme, but where Cloud first heard it was when he was a little boy in Nibelheim, he heard Tifa playing it. So the song he heard the girl next door playing has become the theme of his story, is pretty significant. It's Tifa's at the core of that theme because she had the sheet music, she played it, and that's where he first heard it. So
I don't know what
how
you are
you can
talking
make
about. You are making an analogy where there is no connection exists.
no, that's literally
it's
from
just,
the original game. If you want to get Tifa's last limit break in the original game, you go back to Nibelheim, you play the piano. If you get it right, the letter comes out. They find the letter, and Zangan.
that is maybe why I don't know what on earth you are talking about. I don't care. I did not play or use Tiff. I don't care about her limit break. Therefore, I don't know.
Okay, well, Tifa needs to be in your
That
party
is
to get
about
that limit break, so it's probably why you didn't get it.
yeah, that probably we can agree on that. Probably that's the reason why I don't know what you are talking about. Is because I don't ever use Tifa. I don't like her. Therefore, she's not in my party. She has no limit
Well,
break,
she
and
has
therefore
a
that is
purpose,
why.
and I mean, okay. Can we move on, moderator?
Sure.
Her
I did want to
her
say because
purpose
there's
in
a
life
little.
is simply just to make Cloud feel bad for himself. And when we move on to Advent Children, I will tell you exactly why she is even a worse character than all the other Final Fantasy compilation. She is such a bad character. But anyway,
Yeah,
we can leave that for when Advent Children.
We're
Yeah.
gonna get to
I
there.
don't want to spoil the good part until we get to Advent Children. Isn't
Okay.
that right,
Understood.
moderator?
That's okay. Sure, everything in its time. But I did want to say because I must say we are talking over each other a little bit. So once
Okay.
again, if we could one at a time. So I
Okay.
think somewhere in there I heard a little bit of the main theme. So maybe for the listeners who aren't quite familiar with how it goes, would you mind, Alfred, giving us a little bit of that again?
I feel embarrassed, you know. I'm
I
not
have it
a
on the
very good
replay.
singer, so
Well, it's up to you, Alfred. No pressure. I just
okay.
thought I think. Yeah.
Oh, you know, I'm so nervous.
Okay,
I
okay.
forgot.
No, no, I don't want to put you on the spot. It's
I
okay.
can always sing everything because everything is always in etched in my heart. You know, I can read, I can sing it. I hum it every day. Everybody annoy about it. My brother used to say, "You listen to that song all the time. You know, you are such a loser." And that's why I sing it even louder just to make him angry. Yeah, and
Would
then
you
he started. Yeah,
would you
sorry.
like to share a little bit of that with us now?
Oh, I might offend Gloria, you know. She
No,
seems
Gloria,
very
are
I
you
mean, I
okay?
catchy
can
Can
play
today, you know.
Aerith theme. It's fine.
okay? Go ahead, Alfred, by all means.
Oh, you putting the pressure on me. Okay, give me a second. I have to get into, you know,
Sure.
the mood of the
Take your time.
the character.
Take
You
your
know,
time.
um, um,
You're making him
I
bashful,
hold on.
moderator.
I don't
This
want
is
to put you on the spot. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I have a
It's okay.
I honestly have a momentarily blank. I cannot remember the thing.
I can't either. I was about to do Tifa's. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to do Aerith either.
Hilarious.
Oh shit.
Well, no problem, Alfred. I didn't want to put you on the spot there. Just thought if you wanted to
It
share,
may come.
feel
It may
free.
come. It may come to me later on, and I may break into a Situ song. You know, don't mind me. Just continue. It might come back to me in a minute.
Alfred, look, I can pull it up if you want.
Would you like that, Alfred?
Yeah, sure. You have the song. You
Please,
have the song there. Oh,
please.
okay.
Yeah, here
Play
we
it.
go. Ready?
Hmm.
That is
Can you
it.
hear?
That. Oh, I remember now.
This is from Advent Children, the piano.
It's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Okay, it goes for like 4 minutes, so we
I
will play it all.
Yeah, I think that's good. Thank you,
Yeah. Okay.
Gloria.
I have
I
the this sound
I
effect.
sorry. That brings up so much emotion. I think I have to cry again. Give me a second.
We'll give you a moment. Take your moment, Alfred. You got your Kleenex?
I'm fumbling. I don't know where I put it. Hold on a minute.
No problem.
I found it. Here we go. I'm sorry. It's the air fever. The no. It's so sad.
No, it's. I understand, Alfred. I appreciate your
I'm sorry, I have
passion
a
and.
cold.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's going around, I think.
I think I can compose myself now. I'm okay now. I'm
Are you
okay.
okay, Alfred?
I just have to imagine the view, the promised land, and and the live stream, and I'll be okay. I'll be
Okay.
okay.
Take the time you need. We don't want to push anything. So we want to make sure you're okay
Let,
before we.
let, 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 let me have a drink of water first.
Okay.
No
I
problem.
just I just have to I
While
just
he's
have
gone, I can talk
I just
then.
have to I just have to make sure that when I take a drink from anybody, I don't compliment the drink and accidentally think that they fall in love with the person who poured the drink for me. That's absolutely ridiculous notion though, the Cloti notion
Oh,
that he calls
yeah.
somebody beautiful. It's
Beautiful is a
just
strange
yeah,
thing to call you.
I have to make sure that when I buy my coffee in the morning, I don't say, "Oh, good, this is a beautiful coffee," and then the lady say, "I love her" or something like that. That I put myself in much trouble. Absolutely
Usually not
ridiculous
a word
notion.
you use to describe a drink, but anyway.
Alfred, if you don't mind, and if it's too personal, just let me know. But are you married? Are you in a relationship?
No, I unfortunately no, not in a relationship anymore. I
Oh, I'm
used to
sorry to hear
have,
that.
used to have a girlfriend, and it was going good. But then I found out that she was a closet Cloti, and my heart just I said I cannot continue our relationship with someone who is a closet Cloti. So it's just against my principle as a person. So I break it off. I break it off.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a nice girl.
I can't
Well,
I can't believe she hid from me for so many years. It's like I, and my brother warned me. He told me, I think she might be a Cody. I don't want to believe him at first. I don't want to believe it. But sorry,
Okay. Yeah.
emotional stress.
I'm
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 sorry.
sorry. Oh, I didn't
He,
mean to bring up something difficult for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alfred. I'm
I
sorry.
think he might have.
Okay,
Oh,
go
I
on.
remember now. He was the one who set me up with this girl. Oh my God, I figured it out now. That guy had been trolling me for my whole life. He set me
Moderator,
up
how is
intentionally
this
with that
relevant?
girl.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, Alfred. I didn't mean to bring up something that it sounds like it's personal
I don't want
and
to,
it's
like,
painful.
no offense. I don't want to hear about Alfred's love life.
Well, I'm
Just,
sorry. I'm
can we
sorry.
just stick to topics?
I was just curious, but yeah, point taken. And it does seem like it's something that's personal and painful, and there are some unresolved issues
Don't worry,
between you and your
Gloria.
DD.
Don't worry, Gloria. I will not take anything from you. Don't want you to give the wrong impression.
Okay, I don't see how that's got anything to do with the story, but okay.
Okay, understood. Understood. Okay, so let's that might be a good point. So let's get back on track. The final thing I want to mention is the resolution, Tifa's resolution. Now, Alfred, am I understanding that you have not seen Tifa's resolution even on YouTube? Is that correct?
Oh, maybe my brother once sent me a link to Tifa, something to do with Tifa and Cloud hugging in the field. I did not. Once I saw that, I straight away I turned it off. I said, no, I cannot watch this bullshit. It's just I tell my brother off. Why you send me stuff like this and he just laughed at me. He's such a bastard. He just keeps on sending me, trolling me with all this stuff. And he said, and I do not watch that. I did not watch. I don't even watch it on YouTube. Once I see, automatically I think Tifa. Here we go again. Manipulate Cloud into her, into her arms. I don't like that.
No, she was generally upset. Genuinely. Like, she she'd lost her entire village 5 years before that, and then she lost her entire town where she lived and lost people, within her, like, Sector 7 that she knew. And it was like she was genuinely upset and needed comfort. And the devs do say that Cloud's true self comes out. That's why he hugs her. So he struggles in the beginning to put his arms around her, and then his true self emerges and he wraps her in his arms and consoles her.
He probably is like, oh, I don't want to hug her, but oh look, she cried. I better do something. I don't want people to think I'm some kind of idiot. So that's probably why he do it. But I don't.
No, he's under the soldier persona where he's stiff upper lip type of thing, he's that, but no, he's like, Tifa's emotions, I think, touch him because he, like, Nibelheim was his hometown too. And so, of course, that's going to affect real Cloud deep down. So he comes out to hug Tifa. I think it's really beautiful and touching.
I don't think it's beautiful at all. The only thing that's beautiful is the high five between Aerith and Cloud.
I will.
That is more beautiful than any hug that you can between Cloud and Tifa. Don't like Tifa.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that answers that question, so I appreciate it. Final remake question, and then we can move on to Advent Children. There are people who have the theory that perhaps instead of Aerith dying, maybe this time around, Tifa will die. What do we think about that theory?
Who first?
I will let Gloria go first on this one. I have something to say about this one.
Okay. No, I think Tifa is too important to Cloud's arc. Like, she knows the truth in Nibelheim. She knows the truth of what happened there and that Cloud wasn't there. She needs to be there with him in the live stream to help unravel his scrambled memories and extract his false persona and put him back together again. So without Tifa... shut up, Alfred. Without Tifa...
Oh my god, you are wrong already. You are so wrong already. It was Aerith that helped Cloud in the live stream, not Tifa.
Okay. Without Tifa, Cloud would be like Jesse's dad, stuck in a Mako coma. Because you seen how he was at Medill when they found him again? It's only because Tifa heals him in the live stream that he's then comes back to himself.
Tifa put everybody in a situation
she can't
like
put him
that.
together again. She doesn't know his memories, his childhood, his heart. When they're in the live stream is when Tifa finds out that Cloud has a crush on her and has feelings for her, and he admits it, that he only wanted to go join Soldier to get her attention. So she would notice him, and she told him basically, I was always noticing you, but it's like Aerith knew Cloud for 3 weeks. Tifa had known him basically her entire life. She knew him. She knew what was wrong in his account of what happened at Nibelheim. She knew something was very wrong with him. And the fact that when Tifa essentially said to him at the Northern Crater, no, Cloud, that's not what happened, Cloud falls apart and falls into the live stream because Tifa's the key. She can bring him undone and heal him at the same time. It's like she has so much power. She means so much to Cloud that only she can help him piece his memories, extract this false persona that he's constructed around himself. And then he becomes real Cloud, dorky Cloud, awkward Cloud, kind of sweet.
Oh my god, you are so delusional. I am now rolling my eyes so hard that I'm rolling my eyes so hard that they hurt right now.
Can I just finish one thing?
Oh, you're not finished. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no. Aerith needs to be in the live stream to help Holy, and the live stream bursts out of the planet because Meteor's too close when she's alive. It was too close for Holly to stop it. So within the live stream, she needs to be there to stop Meteor. If she isn't, Holly's not going to work because Meteor's already in the atmosphere. It's too close. Aerith,
And that's what we
Aerith's
all
role
say.
was always the planet, not Cloud.
And that is why Aerith is the main and the most important female character in Final Fantasy VII. Without her, everybody died. Cloud died, Tifa died, JC died, Vincent died. The other guy. I don't can't
She
remember
needs
his
to
name.
die,
The
otherwise they will die too. That's right.
the
If Aerith
the the
doesn't
fat the
die,
fat the
everybody
fat
dies.
guy who the fat guy who get hit by a truck, he died too. It's all the same. They all die, and it's
Palmer,
because
to me. Yeah, Sid.
Palmer, that's the one. That's the guy. That guy is so funny. Anyway, so Aerith is the most important character. Without her, everybody died. You see, and that is why for me, Aerith is the most important person to everybody. Cloud, she helped Cloud in the live stream, not Tifa. Tifa is
Okay.
not an important character. Not an important character at all. She is just put in there just to fill the space when Aerith died. Cloud need at least another female character, so they just put Tifa there next to him. Just eye candy, simply eye candy. So that's my view. But I saw that it was not the original question from the moderator. The original question I think was something along the line. Oh, if they change the end and make Tifa die. Oh, yes, yes, I remember now. Tifa, I think this time is a bit of trouble, little bit of trouble. We see a little scene when Sephiroth kill Tifa, with the sword, boom, and she fall down. I think that is foreshadowing the future. That is something that it will happen. I think this time around, when they say, oh, this game is different, I think that is the key thing that will be different. Tifa is the one
No. I
to
think
fall.
it was
And Aerith,
foreshadowing. If they don't beat Sephiroth, then yeah, he will kill everyone. And Tifa's most important to Cloud, so that was sort of like a wake up call. If we lose, I'm going to lose people close to me, and it was Tifa that was shown, and you've seen his reaction to that.
I don't think anything. Reading too much into it like that.
I
It's just
mean,
simply that
you
I
see his
think
expression, but anyway.
foreshadowing into the future that it may be the case. It may be the case that Tifa and Cloti should be really, really concerned about this. That Tifa might be the one to go, and that means Aerith might be the one to stay, and that will be happy day for all us players. Isn't that right, moderator? Isn't that right?
Well, again, I do want to try to stay impartial. So, in that vein, if you don't mind, I'll refrain from answering. But I do think we
No,
can
no
say that
problem. We can talk in the DM afterward about
there
this
is
point here. Yeah,
no problem.
we
We
don't
will.
want to rub it in the face of the Cloti. They are a little bit concerned about all this right now. So maybe not.
No, I'm
Because
not
Gloria
concerned.
already.
I'm
I think
fine. I'm
Gloria,
fine.
Gloria already. She put on a brave face. I know she a bit concerned about it already. I can feel it.
No,
I
I'm
can feel it
chill. I'm
already
good.
in her
That's all
voice.
right. Don't worry about me. I'm good.
Oh, sure. That's right. Also,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
exactly
fine.
like that.
Definitely, we could. Yes, we could take it offline and we could discuss some of this in the DMs, as you said. But I think that's good for remake, unless someone has something else to say on that. If not, I'd like us to talk about Advent Children.
Oh,
Okay.
I've been waiting for so
Yes.
long about the Evan children.
Yes, I know. It's your moment, Alfred. Advent Children. I do want to establish, what would you say this story is about? Is it a story of guilt, Cloud's guilt? Is it a story of Cloud's love for someone? How are we interpreting what Advent Children is about?
Who go first? Gloria
Uh,
go. Or I go first.
Gloria, would you like to go first? How do you see Advent
Sure.
Children?
Advent Children is about Cloud's guilt. He says it himself. He says he wants to be forgiven more than anything because he let Aerith die. He promised to protect her. Then he realized after the fact that she was Zack's beloved. And so that's double the pain that he feels over how he let her die, how he wasn't there to help Zack. It's like literally Cloud says, believe what he says. He there's this conception that he left Tifa and the kids because he's depressed and he can't get over Aerith. Then why, when he saw Aerith, when she appeared to him, did he say, "I love you, I can't live without you"? Because it was literally the guilt was eating him up. And then he got geostigma, and he didn't want to watch Tifa and the kids, have them watch him die. So he removes himself. As the developer said, Cloud's personality is not candid. He makes these decisions. He doesn't think them through. He thinks he's doing the best thing and then realizes it's not. I mean, he should have been more open with Tifa and explained, but she finds out anyway that he has geostigma. And he basically says to her he can't help anyone, and she's, for the love of God, stop acting this like Denzel is a little boy. He's got it. You don't see him giving up and dying. So,
I have so much to say about that, and I think Gloria has hit the nail right on the head there. Tifa is not a good person.
Not quite finished, moderator. I think it's very unfair to say Tifa nags Cloud. Cloud walks out on the family. I think she's got every right to be angry. No explanation. He up and leaves. She's running the bar. She's also looking after 2 children, one who's got a deadly disease. No explanation. He won't even answer his phone. It's like she's got every damn right to be pissed off at him. So,
she ate too much, and I don't want to answer the phone as well.
I would have slapped him across the face if it was me. She held back.
So violent, the Cloti, so violent, slapping people.
All mopey. I can't help anyone, not my family, not anyone. It's ridiculous.
You see, moderator, they go straight to the slapping already. They're so bad and so.
No, that was what I would have done. But Tifa's too nice. She puts up with a lot. She went through losing Nibelheim, her family, her parents, her dad, her mum when she was younger, her entire town, then Sector 7 falls. She also lost Aerith. They were friends. All the battles they went through, and then Meteor destroyed most of Midgard, and then there was more people that died, all this bloodshed. She would have been impacted by that as well emotionally, and it was just, we have to deal with Cloud's mopey ass. And meanwhile, Tifa's burying it deep, putting a smile on her face and soldiering on. I mean, she snapped, and she had every right to. Also, the rings, if you notice, everybody in the family, Denzel, Cloud, Tifa, they wear the wolf ring. Tifa has one on her finger. You don't see, I think Cloud's are earrings because it's more noticeable. If he was wearing gloves, you wouldn't, because he does wear gloves, you wouldn't see it. But that's a sign, and that's what the developers have said is confirmed as the family. It's like their family. And I don't want to hear this family of friends. No, you don't live together with a woman and raise 2 children if you're just friends. It's completely unfair, number one. If Cloud was really pining for Aerith and sort of living a fake life with Tifa, like his heart's not in it, that would be incredibly selfish to do to Tifa. Essentially, he's stopping Tifa from meeting someone who could love her. So he's not going to do that to Tifa, even if he was in love with Aerith. He would let her go so she could find someone who could love her first. So he's with her and raising kids with her because he loves her. They're a family. There's you can twist yourself into a pretzel, but family and friends is ridiculous. Barrett coming to live with them does not negate that. Also, I've had my sister come and live with me for a while. That doesn't mean that I'm not a family. It doesn't literally all of a sudden, okay, Cloud, Tifa and the kids, they're a family. Oh, Barrett comes, oh, they're no longer a family anymore. That's ridiculous. He's just visiting or staying for a while because he has nowhere else to stay, I'm assuming. He's come as knowing Tifa, she would have offered 7th heaven for him to come. So it's you don't like that. It's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've heard, that they're just shacking up as friends. No, they're together. They're young. They've already had intimate encounters. I mean, I know it's Nojima himself said he wanted to go into more detail. They didn't, but he talked about love and family, and he also calls Tifa someone's Cobito, which is lover. Who else but Cloud? He lives with her. He's raising kids. But again, he up and left. Did not tell her he was dying. I think it was Cloud just couldn't see past the end of his own nose. His guilt was eating him up. And then he got sick and he just thought he was useless and he was a pain in the ass. And I'm so glad he got his shit together at the end, really. And I think Tifa really need to make him beg for forgiveness because I really don't like how he was portrayed. I can get survivor's guilt and all that, but as a developer said, his heart was open to Tifa and then he shut it. So he's basically, I'm going to go away and die because I'm so useless and I let everyone die and my best friend Zach and Aerith. And I mean, it says they will be engraved on his heart forever.
The only engraving on his heart will be with Aerith.
Zach, his friends.
I have been furiously writing the notes.
I think I heard
writing the notes.
I said enough. Alfred can counter that if he wants.
Yes, Alfred, please. There's a lot there, but
there is so much I have to say. I have been furiously writing all the note for the rebuttal, so much that I think my acupuncturist will also have to work on my list too. Where do I start? So much wrong about what she is saying. Absolutely wrong. First of all, this is not about Cloud guilt. It is simply about Cloud and Aerith and Cloud wanting to get back to the live stream so he can be with her again. Her true love. His true love. You see? Now, Tifa is a bully, and a bully even after the game and into Advent Children. See? She always neck, telling Cloud, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that, and that is why Cloud leave. Cloud leave the house and say, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot live in a place with her, with this woman, always nag me, always telling me to do this. And where does he go? He goes to Eric's church, his one true love, and he stay there. That's it. That is the story of Advent Children. All this about Cloud guilt. Why would he feel guilty? He's not the one who killed Aerith. I don't know what you are talking about.
He almost did.
Almost. The key word there is almost. He did not do it. So
physically attacked her would be weighing heavily on his conscience too. Because I'd feel pretty bad if I almost killed someone with my own hands and then because he didn't like attack her with his sword. He punched her crap out of her. I'd feel pretty bad too if that was one of my friends and then they ended up dying because Eric disappears after that. So they didn't get to meet and say sorry. Cloud didn't get to say sorry. It wasn't me. It was Sephiroth controlling me. She then went to the Forgotten City and was killed. But Cloud almost killed her himself. Like Sephiroth tried to control him to do it and he fought back and then Sephiroth killed her. So I'd feel pretty bad. But Cloud let that consume him. I think at the end he just needed to forgive himself. I think that was like Eris said, you don't have anything to be sorry for, essentially.
That is not the story of Advent Children. You have totally misrepresented the story of Advent Children. That is not how it is. It's simply that
it's a sequel to
did not want to live
the game. So,
all this
says it's he can't get over Eris' death, like because he loves her. He can't get over it because he failed and he feels terrible that he'd attacked her physically and that he didn't stop Sephiroth from killing her, and also how she's connected to Zack and how he wasn't able to help Zack too. Zack almost beat the entire infantry army himself, but I'm sure if Cloud thought if he was there he'd be able to help him, but he watched Zack die and then he literally watched the love of Zack's life die, promising to be her bodyguard and to help there. So it's a lot. It's a lot on his shoulders, but
the love of Zack. I think I'm going to vomit my lunch out right now. It's just that is just totally wrong. Total. Misinterpretation of the game. It's just first of all, Zack.
Ultimania's, but that confirms that, because it says that Aerith, at the end of Advent Children, where you see her walking back and Zach's there, and they walk back into the live stream, it says she goes to be with her first love, Zach. The word love is applied to Zach. She says she'll continue watching over the planet and cloud, but she will be her love, Zach.
Advent Children is so important because at the end of original game, Cloud said, "I want to meet her. I want to meet her in the promised land." And in the scene of Advent Children, when they're in the flower field, also romantic. There is very romantic, very good scene for Clerith. She say in the flower scene, that is the reunion that Cloud is talking about.
Yeah.
That is the reunion that Cloud is talking about.
Yeah, no, Cloud said to Aerith, I let you die, and Aerith said, you came, that's all that matters. And he said he wants to be forgiven more than anything. She said, by who? So she doesn't, there was no love declaration between them. It was no, just kill me, I want to be with you, nothing like that. It was you
Cloti all the same thing. You must have a love declaration before you can say that two people are in love with you.
And the end of OG was a misunderstanding. It was everyone that they'd died, that he wanted to take Tifa and see everyone that they'd lost. It wasn't just Aerith. I talked about that yesterday. It's confirmed in the Ultimania as well, one of the complete works. If
Cloud wants to take Tifa, it's because Tifa probably nagged him to take her to some place like that. He probably know where it's going to be. But the matter is that Cloud meet up with in Advent Children